Moving to Florida is a lot like a puzzle. There's a lot of pieces. You don't know how long the puzzle is going to take to put together. You don't know how the pieces all fit together, especially when it comes to your lifestyle and things that are important to you when making the move. I'm going to show you in and around Tampa. Drive times, locations, some of the hottest communities, but ultimately we don't know what you are looking for. Hopefully, this video will give you some sort of guide, and at the end, you can always call us. You can always call us, and we can narrow you down to see what's important to you. Our goal is to take out some of the guesswork to make it a lot easier when planning your move. I created this channel because I know what it's like to live in the north. I know what it's like to chase the palm trees in the sunshine and to trade in those snow shovels for flip-flops. My family and I made the move to Florida, and it wasn't always smooth sailing. So this channel is made to help you skip a lot of that guesswork. So whether you're moving from the Midwest, the Northeast, or anywhere in the United States, and you're looking to relocate in Florida, I have the tours, I have the tips, I have the how-tos. I'm here to make this easier, this transition easier, and of course I'm always available. But let's get into the maps. Let's show you around Florida and what makes it so hot in Tampa. Tampa is rather confusing. You hear things like North Tampa, South Tampa, New Tampa, and of course St. Pete. Is St. Pete part of Tampa? I mean, there's so many confusing aspects to living in this area. However, what we do know is a few things. You've probably been here before. You've been here visiting the beaches, and in your mind, maybe you only think beach town and small little beach homes. Maybe you've been over by St. Armand's at Lido Key and you saw these Spanish Mediterranean beautiful, these homes that cost a small fortune, right? So there's a lot to be had in Tampa, but it's the Tampa suburbs we're going to talk about today. I'm going to highlight 4 suburbs specifically, and number 4 is where I live. Number 4 is one I want you to wait around for. This is going to be a good one because it's not going to be like the first 3. The first 3 are more developed. They're in different stages of development. There's different opportunity, but number 4 is what put me here when I decided to move my family. And hopefully this will help you because I have some knowledge. I did a lot of digging when I looked to move. I didn't have somebody like on my side to help me, kind of like I'm offering to help you. But now I made it my mission because once I got down here, I realized I just didn't know enough. And so I dug deep, and I'm going to bring that information to you. That's what we do on this channel. So if you find this information valuable along the way, please consider hitting subscribe. It really helps other people. See, when YouTube serves up the video to other people, it helps them with knowledge when they're looking to move to Tampa, but also it helps me. It helps me because more subscribers will get to more faces and more people, and ultimately that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help as many people as possible not deal with the same things that I've dealt with, including mistakes when I made the move. But we're not going to talk about those mistakes. Those are for another video. We are going to talk about the 4 areas that I think are the hottest in Tampa right now in the Tampa metro area. Our first stop today is going to be Apollo Beach. Apollo Beach is really highly sought after. A lot of people really love Apollo Beach. There's some new infrastructure. There's a mix of old homes, new homes, and canal homes. A lot of waterfront living. So I'm going to show you right where Apollo Beach is on the map. See this area down here? This is Apollo Beach. Apollo Beach is not too far from Tampa. You can jump right on 41 or I-75 and you can cruise right up to Tampa. If you want to get over to MacDill Air Force Base, you can jump down this peninsula here and get right into MacDill Air Force Base. There is a lot of teasing, a lot of talking that one day Apollo Beach will have a ferry that'll go from Apollo Beach to MacDill Air Force Base. That would save a lot of drive time. It'll be amazing when that happens. And from what I understand, there are docks on each side, and one at MacDill and one at Apollo Beach. So it's along the process, but it's been years they've been talking about this and they can't seem to put that puzzle together. So let's talk about what else Apollo Beach has to offer. Apollo Beach is nice because you can jump right down 41 or 75 over to 275 and you can head right into St. Pete. Now St. Pete is made up of St. Petersburg and also St. Pete Beach. And you can only imagine how many great beaches there are on this Gulf Coast. You have Clearwater, you can go up to Tarpon Springs and Caladesi Island out here. You can go down to Anna Maria Island. You can go to Johns Pass. There's so many beaches. Longboat Key, and of course Siesta Key is down here. I mean, if you like the beach life or you want that lifestyle, that outdoor living, anywhere along this Tampa area is going to be good. But I picked Apollo Beach because of what Apollo Beach has to offer. So another thing Apollo Beach has to offer is a nature preserve. Great place to kick off your shoes and put your toes in the sand. Great place to unwind or read a book or get some sun, but it's a bad place to swim. They don't want you swimming in there. It's too close to the power plant. Some other reasons. I don't know all the reasons, but there is no swimming, so it's not an actual beach. Apollo Beach is just a city name. It's not an actual beach. But the clients that I have that move to Apollo Beach really love it because of its proximity to boating. Someone can jump on a boat, cruise out into Tampa Bay, do some fishing. They can cruise over to the Gulf, over to the islands, over to Egmont Key. There's so many great things you can do if you live in Apollo Beach, and the drive times aren't that bad. If you're looking to go to Tampa, over to St. Pete, even if you want to come down to Sarasota, you're kind of centrally located. You're a little bit closer to Tampa than Sarasota, but you are centrally located because I-75 will make this trip really simple if you need to go down to Sarasota. Really cool shopping, some more beaches, St. Armand's Circle. So Apollo Beach is attractive if A, you want waterfront living or that waterfront vibe, B, you want to be centrally located, and C, of course, the waterfront vibe is kind of mixed in with this, but if you want to put your boat in a marina and you want a nice, safe, easy spot to get out into the bay or into the Gulf, Apollo Beach is your answer. The last client I had that moved to Apollo Beach is for that reason exactly. They put their boat in the marina, they built in this big, beautiful neighborhood called Waterset, and they're happier than a lamb. They have a big, beautiful new home. They can drive about 6 or 7 minutes to their marina boat, and they can get out on the water, and that's their favorite thing to do. So Apollo Beach has a lot to offer, a lot of new construction, multiple builders, a lot of different areas of opportunity in Apollo Beach with some new infrastructure. That's why Apollo Beach is one of my top 4 in the Tampa Bay area of areas to look at if you're considering a move to Tampa. Our second stop is going to be Parrish, Florida. And Parrish, Florida is really, really hot. Like, there's so much growth and so much development happening. It's amazing. And I'm going to take you out on site and I'm going to show you a couple of things that they're building and a couple areas of opportunity within Parrish. The master plan communities that are there, the different neighborhoods, the schools being built. There's a lot happening in Parrish. But let me show you where it is on the map. Remember, I showed you Apollo Beach is right in this area here. Parrish is just south of that. And it's about a 15 or 20 minute drive south of Apollo Beach. And you can see even in this picture, that is one of the pictures of the pools in the new communities. So there are new communities happening. There's no waterfront living. And it's going to take you 15 or 20 minutes if you want to get to the boat in the marina in Apollo Beach. But Parrish is great for a lot of reasons. Let me show you what happens. It takes you farther away from Tampa, so keep that in mind. But it does take you closer to St. Pete, it takes you closer to Anna Maria Island, it takes you closer to Sarasota. So if you need to be close to Tampa, Parrish might not be the best location for you because it's right here. And you can see right here, you can jump on 275 and head right over the Skyway, right into St. Pete. And St. Pete is a different world. It is fantastic. But if you want to head down over 301, cut across Bradenton, you can drive right into Holmes Beach. And Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Beach, Coquina Beach, Bradenton Beach. I mean, if you're looking for a lifestyle shift, it's about a 25-minute drive to go from Parrish to some of the best beaches in the entire country, right there. And if those aren't the beaches you want, you can head south on 75 and you can cruise right over to Siesta Key, which is the #1 beach in the country. #1, voted, rated #1 beach in the country, is not too far from your doorstep. So, Sarasota's got a lot going on. There's some of the best malls, like the best mall in Florida is UTC, and it's down in Sarasota. Obviously the islands, St. Pete, good schools, new infrastructure. Parrish is great. So let's go and show you around a bit. But just south of Apollo Beach is Parrish, Florida. Parrish, Florida, not too long ago, was just cow pastures everywhere, and there wasn't anything here. But then a neighborhood or two would pop up. Now that's all development. Everybody's building from the lagoon community to a master plan community like this we're standing in, North River Ranch. North River Ranch, also at the inside North River Ranch is North River Ranch Middle School. This is going to be part of Parish's infrastructure. Parish's infrastructure, they're widening roads, they're building shopping centers, restaurants, they're even building the Village Center. The Village Center is a new area at Moccasin Wallow and Fort Hammer, and that's going to be the hot spot. That's going to be the new Parish downtown. I think that's what makes Parish so attractive, because not only do you get new neighborhoods that have new amenity centers like you see here, where all the pools, the slides, the trails, the bikes you can just check out and ride from pool to pool if you want. Really everything's right here. And all the neighborhoods are kind of similar, but they all have differences. So that's probably something we should talk about. You should probably reach out to me if you have an interest in moving to Tampa, because even though these neighborhoods feel and look similar, there are drastic differences between some of them. And to be an expert in them, you would have to spend every day in these neighborhoods like we do. So if you have any questions, obviously, about any of these neighborhoods along the way, just reach out. Text me, email me, call me. That's what we do. But to continue on Parish, I really do believe this is the hot spot. This is the #1 place you can buy if you want to grow with the appreciation, if you want to grow with the amenities and with everything that's coming to Parish. See, Lakewood Ranch, where we're going next, is more established. So if you're looking to buy in Lakewood Ranch, you're probably more of an impatient type person that wants something now and wants it finished, and that's a great thing. But if you can be patient, your best bang for your buck is going to be Parish, Florida. This is what's happening right now. However, I don't want to bash on Lakewood Ranch. Lakewood Ranch might be a little bit pricey, very convenient. That's what you're going to pay for. But that's because 20 years in the making, and for the last several years, it's rated #1 multi-generational community in the United States. So we're going to go there next. Let's get going. But before we go, I talk a lot about lifestyle, and this is an example of it. This is Camp Creek. This is the newest community center, the newest pool with the newest slides, lagoon pool, cabanas in North River Ranch here in Parish, Florida. So throughout Florida, throughout the Tampa region, if this is what you're looking for, if you're looking for that lifestyle change, this might be it. While some of the country's best beaches are here, sometimes you don't even have to leave the neighborhood. And if that's what you're looking for, the convenience of having this living and this lifestyle right outside your door, all these master plan communities in the Tampa area that we're highlighting will give you some sense of this, but each one, like I said earlier, is definitely different. So yeah, you saw it, right? You saw that I talked a lot about Lakewood Ranch. That's our third stop. Lakewood Ranch, we're back in front of the computer so I can show you around Lakewood Ranch. Lakewood Ranch is a big area. It's about 5 miles wide overall and about 10 miles north to south. So Lakewood Ranch covers a lot of ground, and it's just south of Parish. So let me show you here what I mean by that. Parish is right here on the map. And if we zoom back out and you went down Fort Hammer Road, you're gonna see if you travel down this road right here, Fort Hammer, it's gonna take you right into Lakewood Ranch. So remember that coffee shop I was standing by? That was right in here. And so you can, again, take Fort Hammer Road down to Lakewood Ranch. Now, Lakewood Ranch has a lot to offer. Again, remember, it's a big place. It's 50 miles, 50 square miles. It is huge. Even people that live in Lakewood Ranch have to drive a long way to see one of their friends or family members in Lakewood Ranch, because that's been being built for 20 years. Lakewood Ranch has been around for a long time. It is rated the #1 multi-generational community, I think the last 7 years in a row. There's some really wonderful areas in Lakewood Ranch, like Waterside Place, and of course Main Street. Their downtown, Lakewood Ranch, is really amazing. There's so much to offer here, but it is all built up. There's a lot of golf, there's a lot of homes, there's a lot of neighborhoods, there's a lot of traffic, and it is amazing for people who live there. They love it, love it, love it. There's even a polo field, believe it or not. You can go watch polo matches right there in the heart of Lakewood Ranch. So it's a pretty cool place. But let me show you around Lakewood Ranch a little bit. Any neighborhood, any type of home, any price home you can think of, you can pretty much pick up in Lakewood Ranch to a point. Because Lakewood Ranch is only about 20 years old or so, all the homes are rather new. So at one point, it was much like Parish. It was new, up and coming, hot. Infrastructure was getting built, and now it is. It's there. So if you're an impatient person and you don't want to wait for the infrastructure to get built up in Parrish, and you want something that's finished and it's now, and you don't want to live amongst construction zone, I would say look at Lakewood Ranch. However, you are going to be paying a hefty price tag to live in Lakewood Ranch. It's just what it is. It's established, it's expensive, and when I say you can get homes for any price point, your condo or your townhomes are probably going to be $350, and then there's going to be homes up in the 5 millions, 10 millions, and everywhere in between. So what's great about it being multi-generational is there's something for everybody. So if you're moving here and your kids are moving here, or your adult kids or your grandmother or whatever it is, and you want to get a couple different houses, even in the same neighborhood in a lot of cases, because Lakewood Ranch is a master plan community, they have thought of everything. What streets connect to what schools go where, everything was developed as one big master plan, and they're kind of at the end of it. There still seem to be neighborhoods popping up on the outskirts. So that 5 by 10 mile rectangle that I was telling you about, where Lakewood Ranch kind of sits, it does seem to get a little wider and a little taller, but that's what you need to pay attention to. As it gets taller, or as it heads more north, maybe not even taller, you're getting closer to Parrish. So eventually South Parrish is going to connect to North Lakewood Ranch. And so that's why Parrish is really probably the best opportunity today that I'm going to explain to you, because those two will start connecting, and they already are, because they're running out of room to build in Lakewood Ranch. So they're putting a lot of emphasis on Parrish, and it's directly north of Lakewood Ranch. So pay attention to that. However, I get calls all the time. People want to move to Lakewood Ranch. And like I said, there's different price points. There is different neighborhoods like Wild Blue and Star Farms. There is multi-generational communities, custom homes, big builders, Arthur Ruttenberg, John Cannon. I mean, there is so much going on in Lakewood Ranch. You kind of need to get in it to explore it, to see what you like or what you don't like. But let's talk about some drive times. Like I said, getting around Lakewood Ranch could take a little bit of time. Because it's 50 square miles, it's going to take a little bit of time. If you want to go from the northwest portion to the southeast portion, it's going to take quite a bit to get there. But the majority of Lakewood Ranch has things going for it. So there's a lot of Publix. Watch this. If I type in Publix in Lakewood Ranch, I'm going to show you all the different Publix that pop up. Remember, Lakewood Ranch is this area here. It goes all the way here, down here. And you can almost see on every corner there's a Publix. So there's plenty of shopping. It doesn't matter where you live in Lakewood Ranch. There's a ton of shopping and a ton of Publix. What's great about it is I can also type in Costco. And Costco, there's one south of Lakewood Ranch and there's one north of Lakewood Ranch. Both obviously close to I-75. Pretty easy to access, whether you live in the southernmost portion of Lakewood Ranch or the northernmost portion. Pretty simple. But let me show you Main Street at Lakewood Ranch and where that's located. So Main Street is pretty cool. There's a cinema, there's some restaurants, there's some putt-putt, and it's kind of a good gathering spot. Surrounded by water. You can see Lakewood Ranch Boulevard surrounds it. There's lots of restaurants, lots of eating. But if we want to take that Main Street and we want to see how far it is from UTC, you're going to see, to get from Main Street, Lakewood Ranch to UTC, which is one of the best malls, remember, one of the best malls in Florida, it's going to take about 10 minutes. But remember that this is the southernmost portion of Lakewood Ranch. Lakewood Ranch goes all the way up here. So now that you have that anchor point of Main Street, let's zoom back out. And you can see that Main Street really is in the heart of Lakewood Ranch. It's really centralized. And a little bit more south, you're going to have Waterside Place. And Waterside Place is cool. It's known for its farmers market every week, and there's just a lot going on in Lakewood Ranch. We could even go to a website about Lakewood Ranch, and you can see all of this. And feel free to reach out to me or make a comment down below, and I'll be happy to send you a whole guide about Lakewood Ranch and everything that Lakewood Ranch has to offer. But that's why it is one of my hottest locations to move to if you're considering a move in or around Tampa, Florida. Because A, we have Apollo Beach. B, we have Parrish. That is the up and coming, the baby Lakewood Ranch, the I want to be Lakewood Ranch and I will be Lakewood Ranch one day, but you got to be a little bit patient place. And then 3 is Lakewood Ranch. Lakewood Ranch is the more developed, lots of neighborhoods, all the different price points, a lot of restaurants, very established, very developed. That's what Lakewood Ranch is. And that's the best way to summarize all of this. But I did promise you a fourth location. So what you've been waiting for, a number 4 location, my favorite where I live is Fishhawk Ranch. Now Fishhawk Ranch is really a fascinating place because it is older. It is 20 to 25 years old. There are offshoots around here that are newer build communities like Creek Ridge Preserve by West Bay. There's Hawkstone by West Bay. And there's some new builds right in the general vicinity. But if you're looking for really, really unbelievable schools, you might want to put Fishhawk Ranch on your list. But there's a con. There is a con to Fishhawk Ranch, and I'm going to talk about it. I don't talk about it much because I love it so much here, but it's a con compared to the first 3 that I showed you. So, Fishhawk Ranch, here we are. Remember Apollo Beach? Apollo Beach was right here. And Fishhawk Ranch is right here. So, Apollo Beach to Fishhawk Ranch is about a half an hour. Therefore, it's about a half an hour to the water, or a half an hour to the marina if you have a boat store there. Fishhawk Ranch is about a half an hour away. That is a huge con, is Fishhawk Ranch is what's considered out in the middle of nowhere. Even though I said I didn't want to live in the middle of nowhere, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. But I will explain. So there is a bubble, they call it, and it covers this whole neighborhood. There's about 6,000 homes in Fishhawk Ranch. A lot of neighborhoods, there's 40 different neighborhoods in Fishhawk Ranch. Lots of tree covering, canopy, covered roads, a lot of wildlife. There's a place called Park Square. They have really good pizza, great ice cream. That's Amici's Pizza right there. You can see it in the picture. And I think the next picture is the ice cream shop. Yes, it is. It's Art Monkey. So we love it because we're about a 4-minute walk from Park Square Plaza. We're about a 4-minute walk to the Aquatic Center, which is one of the 4 amenity centers in Fishhawk Ranch. But with 40 neighborhoods, you need 4 amenity centers. There's 28 miles of bike paths. The schools are fantastic. There's a couple elementary schools right in the neighborhood. There's even a place called Fishhawk West, which is an offshoot of Fishhawk, but they don't share the same amenities, and they do share some of the schools. Some of their schools are different than the Fishhawk Ranch schools, but that's a conversation we gotta have. If you are looking to, and you're considering moving to the area, and you're exploring Fishhawk Ranch or Apollo Beach or Parrish or Lakewood Ranch, we need to talk, because if schools are important to you, we really need to talk so I can kind of guide you on where to look to find the best resources for the best schools. My wife and I, we explored Fishhawk Ranch heavily, but truth be told, we started way north in a city called Wesley Chapel, all the way up here. We started looking there. You know why we started looking there? Because we saw a video about a lagoon community. Lagoon, like the big, humongous 14-acre pool that has a swim-up bar. It sounds great, right? But that lagoon is open to the public. Even though I think those lagoons are great, and I think they have their purpose, I am glad I don't live in one right now. It's just not a good fit for our family. I needed something more like where we live now. One thing about living here, we're surrounded by nature. LFI River Nature Preserve, Lithia Springs Park. We have our own little freshwater spring, real close, like kind of attached to one of the neighborhoods. And it is kind of a bubble. So people say you don't really have to leave Fishhawk at all. You can stay right here, drive a bike or a scooter up to Publix. They're on the corners. There is a McDonald's, a Taco Bell. There is Newsom High School, Randall Middle School. There's Fishhawk Creek Elementary School, Beavis Elementary School. There's a lot of different things about Fishhawk that make Fishhawk Fishhawk. And a lot of people that are relocating for any reason that want good schools really look close at Fishhawk, because it's hard to miss when those school ratings are just in your face and there's award after award after award. But with our 3 that are in high school right now, 2 about to go into sophomore year and 1 about to go into senior year, I've had a lot of questions, or a lot of conversations with my wife. And the conversations are, what's gonna happen when our 2 youngest are out of high school in 3 years? Where are we gonna live? And her answer is Fishhawk Ranch. We're not going anywhere. We're staying right here. Because when they're out of school, it doesn't matter. We love the neighborhood so much. We love the sense of community. We love the community involvement, the activities, the bike paths, the long walks, the canopy covered roads, the different types of homes in different neighborhoods. Fishhawk Ranch really has become home to us in the last 3 years, and we intend to keep it that way. We're going to stay here. Even when the kids are out of these amazing schools, we're going to stay right here, planted in Fishhawk Ranch. But remember the con. It takes us a half an hour to get to Costco. Yeah, it's not fun. It takes us a half an hour to get to Target. That's actually a good thing for my pocketbook. We don't go to Target near as much as I did when I lived in Michigan. We have Kroger delivery for groceries if you want to save a little bit of money on Publix. Kroger delivers right to our back door. That's awesome. We are half an hour away from Apollo Beach, and we are about an hour away from all the beaches. Maybe an hour, hour 10, depending on the traffic. But whether we go straight across to Clearwater, or we go down over to Siesta Key, or to Venice, or to St. Pete Beach, everything seems to be an hour. Everything seems to be an hour, because these causeways take time to get across. The 275, the Skyway, takes time to get across. Down here in Parrish, Palmetto, Bradenton, to get over to Anna Maria Island takes time to get across. But Siesta Key is nice because you can jump on 75 and head south on mostly freeway, and it dumps you right here, a short little drive to Siesta Key. And the same goes with Venice. Venice is even further south, and it's probably going to take you an hour 15 minutes to get there on a good day, but hour 15 minutes nonetheless. The best part about living here on the west coast of Florida, the Gulf Coast of Florida, by all means, is the fact that you can go on vacation in an hour. You're going to feel like you're in a different time zone. You're going to feel like all the weight just lifted off your shoulders, and you just showed up on the beach on vacation. But the best news is, when you're done with that day, you can get in the car and drive home and sleep in your own bed. Those are my 4 hottest areas: Apollo Beach, Parrish, Lakewood Ranch, and Fishhawk Ranch. Hope you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to catch you on the next one. So that's about it for now. But if this is your dream, don't ghost it. Don't give up on your dream just because you don't know where to start. I'm here for you. I am the boots on the ground, the flip-flops in the sand, if you will, being here in Florida. If you're looking to make that lifestyle change, I did it. I made the change. And my favorite thing is when you call me or text me or even email me. All my information is down here below. Just get a hold of me and hit that subscribe button so you can see all the future videos that I'm about to launch. Let's go.